center in Toronto. It's the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. Dodgers swept the Washington Nationals over the weekend, averaging over 10 runs per game, AJ, while the Blue Jays have lost 4 straight. They were swept by the White Sox in Chicago.
The thing about the Blue Jays is they didn't find any offense, Kenny. You can see it there, the runs per game way down, the batting average way down, and the Dodgers went to DC and everyone was questioning where's their offense, and all of a sudden, boom. It's amazing how quickly it can turn around in this small of a sample size.
Dodgers come in with a record of 6-3. Shohei Ohtani will lead off, followed by Kyle Tucker. Freddie Freeman bats third. Teoscar Hernandez in the cleanup spot. Muncy, Pages, Freeland, Rushing, and Kim. As the Dodgers get set to face a former Dodger, the 41-year-old right-hander Max Scherzer, who started Game 7 of the World Series back on the 1st of November.
Max Scherzer doesn't seem to age. As he gets older, he just gets smarter. He's learned how to pitch. He's learned how to use his stuff. He's learned how to avoid a lot of contact. And he had a great first start this year. 6 innings, only 1 run, and more of what they need to see out of him. But he will be challenged by this Dodger lineup tonight.
Max Scherzer became the first pitcher in Major League history pitch in the World Series with 4 different teams. He's a 2-time World Series champion. Takes the mound tonight for the Blue Jays. We had a great chat with Dodgers manager Dave Roberts, and you mentioned it during our open. We asked him about the emotions, the feelings coming back into this building. He said certainly not as tense as it was prior to games 6 and 7 of the World Series.
Game 7, he said, he was a bundle of nerves, but they got through it. And he is happy to be back, a little more relaxed. And then you have John Schneider on the other side. Yes, they won the AL pennant, but man, they want to win the World Series.
The two skippers spent an hour together doing an interview this morning here in Toronto.
I know, and I found it funny that Dave Roberts said he'd only do it if John Schneider did. I love that, because that showed how much he respected John Schneider.
We are set to go here in Toronto as Ohtani steps in to face Scherzer. Ohtani 9 for 33 on the season, batting .273. He is scheduled to start Wednesday's game for the Dodgers here at Rogers Center. Falls behind 0-2.
Aggressive early Shohei. Not going to let Max, try not to let Max get comfortable. He struggled in the first inning last year.
Ohtani lifts it into right center. Catch is made by Varsho for out number 1.
Really good pitch, a little change up here from Scherzer, off the plate away. Ohtani hits it off the end of the bat. Dalton Varsho is one of the best center fielders you'll ever see, and he gets a great jump, gets there easily.
So with 1 away, Kyle Tucker steps in. You can hear the boos from the crowd after Tucker turned down the Blue Jays offer during the offseason, signed with the Dodgers.
They wanted him badly. Kyle Tucker was one of those free agents that these 2 teams wanted, and the Dodgers got him. A great player, consistent when he's healthy, just out there every game, defense, offense, can do it all.
Just 1 for 9 lifetime against Scherzer. Tucker 9 for 33 during the early portion of the season with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Freddie Freeman waiting on deck.
Tucker got a day off in the Washington series, Kenny, just to give him a little breather, get back center, take a day off. Now be ready to go these 3 in Toronto.
Dave Roberts telling us that he loves the fact that Tucker was ready to pinch hit in the game in which he did not start.
Veteran guy who's been around. He's always ready. If he's healthy, he wants to be out there.
Tucker draws a 1-out walk. So Freddie Freeman steps to the plate. So many huge moments for Freeman over the last 2 World Series. Freeman takes a called strike from Scherzer, 0-1.
Didn't it seem like every time Freddie came up in the last couple World Series, he was up in a huge situation and getting a hit, hitting walk-off homers, doing whatever he could to help this team win?
Hit the walk-off in Game 3, the 18-inning 6-5 Dodgers victory over the Blue Jays. Only player in Major League history with 2 walk-off home runs in the postseason. Tucker takes his lead off first, and Freeman is down on strikes. Scherzer wins the battle.
This is the one thing Max Scherzer can do. He can put the ball where he wants at his age. Yes, the velo might not be there, but what he does as a veteran, he finds holes in guys' swings, and he attacks him. You saw him attack Freddie in a lot, and there is a hole in there. You got to be real careful, Kenny. But if you can get it to that hole, you can get Freddie to swing through it.
So with 2 away, here's Teoscar Hernandez, the former Blue Jay. Takes ball 1 from Scherzer. Hernandez drove at a career high 116 runs with the Jays back in 2021. And he drills this one down the left field line. 2-run shot off the bat of Hernandez, and the Dodgers take an early 2-0 lead. Second home run of the season for Teoscar Hernandez.
Well, slider, Kenny, right down the middle. This is a hanging slider. Doesn't do a whole lot. 83. Max is just hoping it goes foul. Teoscar knows it right away. You see the frustration on Scherzer's face. And I mentioned last year, he really struggled in the first inning. If he can get through the first inning after that, his numbers go down. But Teoscar makes him pay on the hanger.
That's the 17th home run hit by the Dodgers. They lead all of baseball in that category.
No doubter. The only question was it going to stay fair? Once it left the bat, once it did that, it was a 2-run homer.
Swing and a miss by Muncy, 1-1. Hernandez had been just 1 for 7 in the regular season against Scherzer. Took him deep here in the top of the first inning for Dave Roberts' Dodgers. Now 1-2. Ohtani fly to center. A walk to Tucker. Scherzer struck out Freeman, and then Hernandez with the 2-run shot. 1-2 to Muncy. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch number 18 thrown by Scherzer here in the first inning is fouled back to the screen. Count remains 2-2.
This is just what this Dodgers lineup does to you, Kenny. They just wear you down. They make you throw so many quality pitches, quality pitch, quality pitch. As soon as you make a mistake, they hit a home run because their lineup 1 through 9 can hit home runs.
2-2 from Scherzer. Full count. Scherzer making his second start of the season, went 6 innings against Colorado. Allowed just 1 run on 4 hits. Strikes out Muncy to end the inning. But the Dodgers take a 2-0 lead. second of the season off the bat of the former Jay, Teoscar Hernandez. 25-year-old left-hander Justin Robleski pitching with a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning. His first start, second appearance of the season. Started 2 games for the Dodgers last year and was tremendous out of the pen in the World Series.
Well, he's always been a bulk guy for the Dodgers. This is, I believe, his 9th start in the last 3 years, Kenny, but he's been a bulk guy. Even his one outing this year was multiple innings.
Pop foul to the right side off the bat of Springer, out of play.
And they're hoping he can do the same thing for him. They try to mix him in to give other guys days off, like Yamamoto, like Ohtani, to keep these guys healthy for the whole season. He was really good in the World Series against Toronto. If he gives them 4 to 5 innings tonight, that would be a huge win.
When we spoke with Dave Roberts prior to the game and asked about Robleski, he said, we don't win the World Series last year without him.
Oh, no doubt. He pitched some huge innings for him and gave him length. And we showed his pitch usage earlier. A lot of sliders, a lot of four-seamers. The thing for him is the Blue Jays last year at least hit the four-seamer, so he has to be really, really careful with where he throws that.
He pitched 5 shutout innings in 4 separate outings in the World Series against the Blue Jays. Games 1, 3, 6, and 7. Ninth career start, 34th major league appearance. 2-2 to Springer. And the count is full with David Schneider waiting on deck. Springer just 6 for 38. Draws a leadoff walk. So Springer heads down to first. Schneider coming up, then Guerrero. Okamoto in the cleanup spot, followed by Clement, Varsho, Straub, Heineman, and Jimenez for the 4 and 5. Toronto Blue Jays suffered a number of key injuries early in the season as Schneider fouls it off to the right side. 0-1.
They have had some injuries, but they also have some depth. That's why they go out and brought back Max Scherzer and made some other moves to help them with depth, because they learned from the team that beat them last year, Kenny. You have to have a lot of starting pitching, and you have to have a deep organization.
Don't think any team is as deep as the Dodgers.
No, you're right about that. But the Blue Jays, they came within, what, 4 inches of winning the World Series last year, and they believe they have a team again that can do it. John Schneider, DeMarlo Hale, Pete Walker right there. They believe they have a team that can get there again and win it.
Springer takes his lead off first. The 0-2 to Schneider, who led off Game 5 of the World Series, went deep on the first pitch.
Well, if you haven't seen the Blue Jays play and you only saw them in the World Series, they are a contact-oriented team that tries to make pitchers work. They foul off a lot of pitches, and everyone says, oh, they just hit the ball, Kenny. But they also have some guys that can hit homers. It's not just Vlad Guerrero Jr. They have some guys 1 through 9 in this lineup that can do damage.
Two from Robleski, and Schneider flies out to Hernandez in left for out number 1. So with 1 away, here's Vlad Guerrero Jr. 5-time All-Star who hit 8 home runs during 2025 postseason.
What a run he got on. How hot was he in that postseason? It seemed like every time he came up, he hit a homer.
Leadoff walk to Springer, 1 away. Guerrero 9 for 31 this season. Just 1 home run so far over the first 9 games. Right field off the bat of Guerrero. And the catch made on the warning track by Tucker. Hustling back in is Springer, now 2 away.
How nonchalant was Tucker on that ball? That ball, I didn't think it was going to go that far. First of all, he just gets back to the wall, ho-hum, just jumps up, catches, and then he almost gets his old pal George Springer at first base. Not quite Joe Adell, Kenny, this weekend, who robbed 3 home runs in 1 game, but a pretty nice catch.
Wroblewski certainly enjoyed it. Strike 1 to Okamoto in his first major league season. 29 years of age, played professionally for 11 seasons in Japan. Base hit into left field. Moving Springer over to second. So the Blue Jays now have 2 on with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning.
See, he's an important player for me for this Blue Jays team going forward. Who's going to hit behind Vlad and who's going to hit in front of Vlad? It was Bichette who manned both those positions for a long time. But they need Okamoto to hit so Vlad can get pitches that he can do damage on. He's taken a lot of walks early in this year. They've got to have Okamoto be a force for them.
Bichette now a New York Met. Here's Ernie Clement. What a postseason it was for Clement. Setting a new major league record with 30 base hits. 2 on, 2 out. Ball 1 from Wroblewski.
And this is a guy after my own heart, Kenny. He swings at everything, and he usually makes contact with it. If you throw it close around the strike zone, he will put it in play, and he, as you mentioned, gets a lot of hits.
1-1 on Clement. 2 outs, bottom of the first inning. Vlad Guerrero Jr. now in second place on that list. Into right center. It drops in. Base hit. Coming home to score is Springer. The Blue Jays are on the board. 3rd run batted in of the season for Clement. It's now a 2-1 Dodgers lead.
Well, nice piece of hitting here by Ernie Clement. I mentioned he swings a lot. Well, he gets a little ball. It gets in on him a little bit. Just shoves this ball out to center field. And the walk, much like the first inning when the walk for the Dodgers scored, the walk for the Blue Jays comes around and George Springer and scores to make it 2-1.
Dalton Varsho at the plate. He went deep in Game 1 of the World Series last October. 0-1. Two on, 2 out. Wroblewski missing high. Varsho only 5 hits in 29 at bats this season for the Blue Jays. 2 balls, 1 strike. Dodgers with 2 at the top of the first. Teoscar Hernandez went deep, a 2-run shot. Ernie Clement driving home Springer here in the bottom half. Now 3-1 to Varsho.
As a lefty on left here, this is where you got to do damage. You got to look out over the plate and be ready to let it fly.
Ball 4 to Varsho. Blue Jays have loaded the bases.
Let it fly if it's a strike. Mark Prior's just going out to the mound here to give Wroblewski a little breather. It's his first start of the year. He's got 24 pitches. Little scouting report here on Miles Straw. What are we going to do? What's your strength? We'll probably give him a little key, Kenny. Hey, whatever his key is, your front shoulder, your heel, your hip, your arm, your glove, whatever it is, just give him a little breather and give him a little key to get him back in the strike zone.
Robleski has walked 2 Blue Jays here in the bottom of the first. Miles Straw steps to the plate. With the bases loaded, he's 5 for 9 this season. The 0-1 from Robleski. 1-1.
This is where the Blue Jays were so good last year. Hit almost 300 with runners in scoring position. This year they've struggled, but tonight they're 1 for 1. Let's see if Miles Straw can get them headed in the right direction.
Now the 1-1 in for a called strike 2. This is full of Blue Jays. 2 outs, bottom of the first inning in Toronto. Now 2-2.
Just a little jumpy by Robleski. A lot of misses up and away to righties. That means he's not staying over his backside, Kenny. Kind of flying open a little bit when you hear say, oh, stay closed, finish. Right now he's a little bit jumpy, but again, it's his first start of the year.
King steps on the bag to end the inning. Blue Jays score a run. They strand 3. We head to the second. 18th Major League season. Takes the mound here in the top of the second inning. With the Dodgers leading the Blue Jays 2-1. Andy Pages leads off for the Dodgers. Off to a sizzling start. Leads all of baseball with a .471 batting average. 16 for 34. Earlier today, named the National League Player of the Week.
He's had an unbelievable start after a really good year, sneaky good year last year. And he's cut down on his chase. He's cut down on his swing and miss. Every year he's been in the major leagues. He plays an unbelievable center field. And he has pop.
Dave Roberts telling us earlier he has been lights out at the plate and great defensively as well. Player profile sponsored by Liberty Mutual. A look at his numbers this season, leading the Dodgers in all of those categories.
That's a pretty good start to your season after last year being worried he was going to get sent down to AAA, and here he is, Player of the Week already.
Working on a 6-game hitting streak.
One of the things he's really improved, Kenny, is that pitch right there. That's a breaking ball. He used to swing and miss, he used to chase, but now he's able to get a little piece of it and a little foul ball. Uh-oh.
Another foul off the bat of Pages.
Well, something's bothering Max, because in the first inning he said something like that, and then they just showed him right there looking at the dugout saying, I'm okay. So I don't know what's going on with Max Scherzer, but that was a look to the dugout to tell him I'm okay.
7th pitch of the at bat. And it's another foul back behind third.
If you didn't hear the story in the pregame about Max Scherzer and his thumb that he had last year, he had a thumb problem where he couldn't move his thumb or feel his thumb, and he learned to play the piano, and it fixed it.
That is the 5th straight foul off the bat of Pages.
It's a heck of an at bat here by Andy Pages.
I wonder what Max's favorite tunes were.
He said he did it with his children. He just decided, hey, I'm going to try this. And all of a sudden his thumb felt better. And now he does it religiously to make himself feel well.
6 straight fouls.
See, this is as the catcher, Kenny. Just put it in play, get a hit. I don't care. I just want you out of the batter's box. You've been around. You've been too close to me for too long now. Let's just move on.
Tenth pitch of the at-bat from Scherzer. And this one will be playable. Pages retired. 1 away. As Pages pops out to the second baseman, Clement. Playing the piano, certainly a unique method of rehabilitation, but it sounds like it worked.
Whatever it takes to get you back out there. Fox's own Ken Rosenthal wrote the story on it. I asked Matt, Max had told me, and I had forgotten, and I asked him again when I saw him in spring training. He said, "Oh no, Ken's got to write this story."
Not AJ?
No.
No. On the first pitch, Freeland flies out to Straw and right. I guess he felt like Ken was better at the keyboard,
yes,
than AJ to write about the other kind of keys.
Yes, and he also probably figures Ken is a more credible media member than myself, so he went for the smart move. I can't blame him.
Would you consider yourself a better typist or piano player?
Not a piano player. I've never played the piano in my life. I can type though, Kenny. I can type.
I'm not doubting you.
I can't play the piano though.
Here's Dalton rushing behind the plate for the Dodgers here tonight. Tiny fly to center in the top of the first inning. 2-0 from Scherzer, rushing with a base hit into right field. Dodgers with a 2-out base runner here in the second. Dodgers called up Hae-Sung Kim yesterday. They used him as a defensive replacement in the 11th inning of Game 7 of the World Series here. And he recorded the first putout of that inning. Backpedaling is Varsho, and he makes the catch to end the inning. Dodgers strand a runner in the second. Lead the Blue Jays 2-1. Justin Wrobleski threw 29 pitches in the first inning. Blue Jays stranded 3 as they loaded the bases after scoring a run. Tyler Heineman leads off for Toronto, making the start behind the plate for the injured Alejandro Kirk. Here's Kim with the throw across to retire Heineman. One away. So now the matchup we have been waiting for, as we take you back to Game 7 of the World Series. Wrobleski hitting Jimenez with the pitch. Leading to this.
Is this the first time that in history that in Game 7 we had benches cleared? Can't imagine there's been a lot of times, but Andre Jimenez, he almost got hit the pitch before. And then he did get hit, and he took exception to it, and they said some nice friendly words about where they were going to go after the game.
Wrobleski was asked about it the other day leading up to this start. He said, I guess they'll boo me. It will be great.
They only boo you because they remember you, Kenny, or you broke their heart.
You were never booed anywhere, were you?
A lot of places.
Never.
I asked Miguel Rojas why he wasn't playing today, if he was afraid of all the boos from the Toronto fans. He just laughed. Said, I'll see that tomorrow.
Two and two on Jimenez. 1 out. Bottom of the second inning.
Miggy Rojas hit of course, the game-tying home run in Game 7.
After receiving a text from his manager, Dave Roberts, you'll be starting Game 6. Had not seen much action earlier in the series, but was trusted by Roberts, and He was one of the heroes for the Dodgers in that Game 7 victory.
He was.
Right center off the bat of Jimenez. And it's Pages moving to his left, makes the catch. The retired Jimenez, now 2 away.
Interesting.
Max Scherzer between innings in the dugout as Springer sends this one into left center. Pages says, I got it. And the Blue Jays are retired in order by Robleski in the second. Keeping an eye on the Max Scherzer situation. He exits after 2 innings, replaced by the left-hander Josh Fleming, making his first major league appearance since July of 2024.
And I hope nothing's wrong with Max Scherzer, but it's interesting that he only went 2 innings, but he also only went 1 time through the lineup. So I don't know if that was the plan. John Schneider didn't mention anything to us, so it's interesting timing, but Shohei's left-handed. They bring in a lefty.
Ohtani takes a called strike, fly to center his first time up. Facing Fleming, who was recalled today by the Blue Jays, spent last season in the Seattle organization. Signed by the Jays to a minor league contract back in February. Appeared in 7 games during spring training. Swing and a miss by Ohtani. Now 1-2.
It's a welcome back moment. By the way, go get Shohei Ohtani out.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Max Scherzer threw 36 pitches over the first 2 innings, allowed the 2-run home run off the bat of Hernandez in the first. 2-2 from Fleming to Ohtani. Here's Fleming off the mound, fires it away. Ohtani in standing at second.
We know everything Shohei Ohtani can do. Power, hit, pitch, throw 100 miles an hour, split finger. But one of his most underrated tools is his speed. It takes him about 5 steps to get to first. And as soon as this ball bounced, you knew it was trouble for the Jays. And he's there. Just, it's like 5 steps and he's there, Kenny. It's amazing.
Remember, Ohtani stole 59 bases 2 years ago. So the Dodgers with a runner in scoring position. Tucker at the plate. Tucker walked, came around to score his first time up. It's a base hit for Ohtani. And then he moves to second on the error, the throwing error of the pitcher Fleming. 41-game on-base streak. The next longest coming into play today in the major leagues, 18 games, so more than double.
And the longest since Sean Green, way back. Thinking what year was that? 2000 at 53 games. So he just sets Dodger records left and right, Kenny. It's like another day at the office for Shohei.
Tucker swings and misses, down 1-2. That 41-game streak that ties our guy Eric Karros for the 3rd longest streak in Los Angeles Dodgers history.
There must have been a lot of hit by pitches in there for Karros. And this is why you go get a guy like Kyle Tucker. Professional at bats. Yes, he's left-handed, but over his career, he's hit lefties as well, if not better, than righties.
Fair ball. We get the out at first. Ohtani moves to third.
But a productive professional at bat right there. Runner on second, no outs. If you're going to miss out in front, roll it over to first. It's exactly what Kyle Tucker does, and he almost got him involved by Vlad. But at worst, he moves Shohei to third with 1 out for Freddie.
Freeman struck out his first time up against Scherzer. Takes ball 1 from Fleming.
Scary here. Infield's in. You got Freddie Freeman up for your Vlad or Ernie Clement at second base. Ooh, let's hope he hits it soft at you.
Dodgers with a 2-1 lead over the Blue Jays. Their first meeting since Game 7 of the World Series here at Rogers Center. Back on the 1st of November. Long foul down the right field line off the bat of Freeman, now 2-1. Dodgers won 3 of the 4 games here in Toronto. Games 2, 6, and 7. They scored 58 runs, 10 home runs in those 4 games on the road during the World Series.
We've seen more and more of that, Kenny, over the years. Road teams being better. Was it 2019 when the road team won every game in the World Series? I don't think there's a smaller home field advantage in a Major League Baseball. You do hockey, you do football. It seems like a bigger deal for those sports than in baseball.
We saw that graphic earlier. The road team has won Game 7 last 5 times it's happened in the World Series.
Pressure. I think it's almost worse in baseball. It's not an emotional sport like football or hockey where the crowd can get behind you. If you get behind and you're the home team, the pressure actually mounts on you. You got to come back. We got to come back. We can't let our fans down. And then in baseball, one thing, if you try harder, it doesn't always go great.
And you're right, oftentimes, no matter what the sport, sometimes you do feel more comfortable on the road, less distractions.
Don't have to worry about as many tickets. Don't have to worry about a lot of different things. You just go and focus, and you're with your people, and it brings you together.
Payoff pitch to Freeman, and he drills this one deep right field. It is gone. Freddie Freeman, number 3 on the season. Second 2-run home run for the Dodgers over the first 3 innings. They now lead the Blue Jays 4-1.
Just in a professional at bat by Freddie Freeman and a mistake. Oh, by Fleming, and he knows it right away. As soon as he lets it go, he puts his head down. Something we've seen a whole lot on this one soon, not soon, but the Hall of Famer to be from Freddie Freeman. Just a beautiful swing.
Hernandez at the plate. He took Scherzer deep back in the first inning. 18 home runs now for the Dodgers, adding to their major league lead. Blue Jays have seen that before from Freddie Freeman.
Too many times, but yes, that's what the Dodgers do. They hit homers. 1 through 9, they hit homers.
Jimenez over to Guerrero to retire Hernandez for out number 2. Talked about the Dodgers sweep of the Nationals over the weekend, scoring 31 runs in the 3 games, out to a 4-1 lead in this one. They trailed yesterday's game 6-1. Scored 4 in the 8th inning. Rushing with a 2-run shot. Max Muncy struck out to end the 1st inning. There's 59% of the Dodgers' runs this season. 34 out of 58 have come via the long ball.
That's what they do. They hit homers. They put pressure on you until you make a mistake, and when you make a mistake, they usually don't miss it.
Muncy with a base hit into center field. Third hit of the inning for the Dodgers. It all started with that infield single off the bat of Ohtani, and then throwing error by Fleming, allowing Ohtani to move to second. Tucker grounded out to the right side, then Freeman with a 2-run shot. Dodgers with a 4-1 lead as Fleming gets set to face Pages. Pages popped to second his first time up. Average down to 457 from 471.
Really struggling, Kenny.
Strike 1 from Fleming. Muncy the runner on first, 2 outs. Top of the 3rd in Toronto.
And this is kind of a nightmare scenario for Toronto. They get swept by the White Sox on the road. You come home, you get LA, who we all know is one of the best teams, if not the best team by far in Major League Baseball.
A shot past Okamoto at third. Muncy holds at third. Pages in at second.
And then Max Scherzer goes out after only 2 innings. You're into the bullpen, and then this happens. Pages smokes this ball right through Okamoto's wickets. I'm assuming they're going to give that an error, Kenny.
Still awaiting the official ruling. It is an error. Charge to Okamoto. 0-1 on Freeland.
I think if you drew up on the internet and you wrote E5, that would probably be the highlight of one. They wouldn't have given that an error. There would be probably some arguing going on, Kenny.
Second error committed by the Blue Jays this inning.
Now, the first one was understandable. Listen, errors happen. We all know that. The first one was understandable under pressure. And that also happens. If you haven't seen Bill Buckner in big situations, we all have. But errors happen. Baseball is really hard.
Freeland, the 7th batter of the inning for the Dodgers. Runners on second and third, 2 outs. Dodgers, of course, without Mookie Betts. Out with a back injury. They hope to have him back in the lineup in 2 to 4 weeks.
Obliques are tricky. Some people bounce back fast, some people take a while. One thing we've learned about the Dodgers over the last few years, they don't push things for the regular season. They have a pretty good feeling they're going to be in the postseason. They're just trying to make sure everybody's ready for when the postseason hits.
No reason to rush him back. 2-2. Jimenez fires across. And a nice play made by Guerrero at first, and that will end the inning. Well, the Dodgers score 2. Freddie Freeman takes Fleming deep. Freddie Freeman, one of 2 Dodgers home runs over the first 3 innings. They lead the Blue Jays 4-1. As Davis Schneider leads off for Toronto, 5 to left, his first time up. Wroblewski, AJ, after throwing 29 pitches in the first inning, only 10 in the second.
Nice bounce back for him after a long first inning. And now he's got a 3-run lead. Dave Roberts would love to see him give him at least 2 more.
Schneider at the plate, Guerrero on deck. Schneider fouls it off. Back behind first, now 2-2. All smiles in the Dodgers dugout with a 3-run lead. Schneider down on strikes, 1 away. First strikeout for Justin Wroblewski. Here's Vlad Guerrero Jr. flat out to Tucker on the warning track and right. Back in the first inning. Blue Jays have lost 4 in a row following a 4-1 start. Swept by the White Sox in Chicago over the weekend. John Schneider said after Saturday's game, we are 8 games into the season, and we've had some games so far that scream not us.
Well, they're not the way they played in about the last 100 games of last year, but they got off to a nice start, and then the last 4 haven't been so good. This one's not off to a start, but you know how you fix all that? One big hit, somebody making a pitch, someone making a great defensive play. It can flip on a dime. Like it turned negative for them, it can flip positive. One swing, one play.
Guerrero draws a 1-out walk. The Blue Jays won 94 games a season ago. Finished atop the American League East, a 20-win improvement from the previous season. Made it all the way to Game 7 of the World Series.
And if you remember last year,
here's Kim with the flip to second, on to first. Double play. Okamoto grounds into the 6-4. Back in Toronto, Kenny Albert, AJ Pierzynski. Top of the 4th inning as Dalton Rushing leads off for the Dodgers against Josh Fleming, who threw 33 pitches in the 3rd inning. Came on in relief of Max Scherzer, and he hits Rushing with his 2nd pitch here in the 4th. As Kim steps to the plate, pinch hit and run is the free official MLB skills competition for baseball and softball players ages 7 to 14. Host a local competition in 2026 and give the kids a chance to make it to the national finals at the World Series. Visit pitchhitrun.com or scan the QR code. Kim flies to center his first time up.
oh, the things you don't miss about not playing baseball and being a catcher anymore, Kenny. Foul tips, especially on bunts.
You felt that for many, many years.
Oof.
Decades.
And bunts were the worst. got hit by more, I swear, more foul tips on bunt attempts than you do any other time.
A little safer up here. Now the 1-1 is Kim squares.
This isn't something you see a whole lot in Major League Baseball, the just pure sacrifice bunt. Squaring early. Corners in.
Kim squares once again, the 2-1. Bunted foul, now 2-2.
Best part of this, Vlad Guerrero Jr. is getting his sprints in. He's got to hold the runner on first and just dead sprint to the plate when he shows bunt.
Kim swinging on the 2-2 pitch. Rushing on at first after he was hit by the pitch from Fleming. Ohtani on deck. Fleming delivers, and the count is now full.
Interesting question. If Kim gets the bunt down, he's not bunting now with 2 strikes, but if he would have got the bunt down, would the Jays think about walking Ohtani intentionally with Tucker? And yes, I know Freddie hit a homer off of him already, but would you walk Ohtani to get to Tucker and Freddie Freeman?
So after attempting a couple of bunts, Kim draws a walk on the 3-2 pitch.
I know
as Ohtani steps to the plate.
I know who's not going to be bunting.
No.
Shohei Ohtani. And I said earlier, worst case scenario, it just keeps getting worse. 30+ pitches, 1 inning. We're in the top of the 4th. It's 4-1. This is nightmare scenario here early in this game for the Blue Jays.
Fleming up to 42 pitches. First pitch to Ohtani, missing low and away. Ohtani with the infield single off Fleming, who then threw it away, allowing Ohtani to advance to second. The number 8 and 9 hitters on base for the Dodgers, as Ohtani sends this one into center. Varsho under it. Both runners on the move. And they are both in safely. Second and third for Los Angeles.
Great base running here by Kim. And you know what? Varsho does everything right on this play. He throws it to second, but Kim is just fast. And so he's able to get to second, and now there's 2 runners in scoring position with only 1 out for Tucker and Freeman.
Now we hear the boos once again for Tucker, who elected to not sign with the Blue Jays. Tucker walked his first time up and then grounded out to the right side, moving Ohtani to third back in the 3rd inning. A hit batsman and a walk. Dodgers with runners on second and third, 1 out. And the 0-1 to Tucker. Deep right center, back on the warning track. The catch is made by Varsho. Coming in to score is Rushing. Moving to third is Kim. The sacrifice fly RBI for Tucker. Dodgers now lead 5-1.
Productive outs. A hit by pitch, then a walk. Shohei sacrifice, although it doesn't count as a sacrifice fly. A fly ball to move him up, and then Kyle Tucker does his job to get him in. And now Freddie has an opportunity to break this game wide open.
7th run batted in of the season for Tucker. Here's Freeman, who took Fleming deep in the last inning. 2-run shot. Freeman leads all active major leaguers and runs batted in, now has 1,333. One and one on Freeman. Kim the runner on third. One run in here in the fourth.
What a career for Freddie Freeman. I got to play with him 2015, 2016. Great guy, great teammate, obviously a great player. I remember he would say to me, I just won a World Series ring, because I had one when I came over to the Braves from 2005 White Sox. And now Freddie's got 3. I told him today, I'm jealous of you now, Freddie.
Here's the 2-1. He rips it foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Freeman, a 9-time All-Star. World Series most valuable player in 2024.
Got to be a first ballot Hall of Famer when he's retired, right?
Absolutely.
Got a great chance to get to 3,000 hits.
The World Series heroics.
3 rings.
Now in his 17th major league season, 12 in Atlanta, 5th with the Dodgers. Payoff pitch from Fleming. Ball 4 to Freeman. So the Dodgers now have runners on the corners with 2 away for Hernandez. Fleming up to 52 pitches in an inning and 2/3.
And just another breather there. Pete Walker, the pitching coach, is saying, listen, we need you to give us some innings. Max Scherzer only went through 2. We need some innings out of you. There's 2 pretty good hitters talking baseball right there. What do you think that conversation was?
Comparing all-star appearances, among other accolades, perhaps.
Well, Freddie loses on one thing in that battle, contract. But all the rest, Freddie has them in home runs, World Series, so far.
So it on Hernandez, who took Scherzer deep back in the 1st inning. Our first challenge of the evening. Ball is confirmed.
1 inch. That's got to make an umpire feel so good. He's like, ha, I told you so. Yeah, worth the challenge, though. You get 2 for a reason.
What are your early thoughts on the ABS system?
I like it. I like it. Other thing I don't like, and I've said this, is it's not 3D, right? So it's not 3D like the strike zone's supposed to be, but I like it engages the crowd. I like you have an opportunity to correct mistakes. There was a game the other day, I think it was the Yankees game, because where the ABS is located is the middle of the plate.
Right.
The home plate umpire kept getting overruled on balls that were 1/10 of an inch low. Well, if you move the ABS marker to the front of the plate, those are strikes. So he was right, but he was wrong. So both teams are right. So players will get used to it, coaches will get used to it, but I like that we have a way, much like instant replay, to correct mistakes, especially blatant mistakes.
The 2-2. Hernandez went around. Dodgers add a run. Middle of the 4th. Justin Robleski and the Dodgers with a 5-1 lead as Ernie Clement leads off for the Blue Jays here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Clement drove in the Blue Jays run back in the first. First start of the season for Robleski. Had a relief appearance against Cleveland, went 4 innings. 50 pitches over the first 3 as Clement sends this one to deep right center on the warning track. It's Pages to retire Clement for out number 1. The MLB app has you covered all season long. Get personalized highlights and push notifications just for you. Download the MLB app, the #1 app for live baseball.
53 pitches for Robleski, Kenny. Dave Roberts said he was fully built up to 80 to 85, possibly more. They would love to get 5 more outs out of him and get him through 5 innings. With Yamamoto pitching tomorrow for the Dodgers and Shohei on Wednesday, that would put them in a great situation.
When we asked Dave Roberts about Robleski, loves his toughness, loves his confidence. And again, we mentioned this earlier, he said, we don't win the World Series without him. He appeared in 4 games. 1, 3, 6, and 7, 5 shutout innings. Popped up left side of the infield. Catch made by Muncy. Retire Varsho. Quickly 2 away here are the Blue Jays' 4th. Robleski will face Miles Straw, who came up with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the first inning and grounded out to the shortstop Kim.
And since that out, Robleski's been locked in, just out after out after out. That was a huge out in the first inning. They say, oh, outs all are the same, but created equal, but sometimes those outs early in games settle in starting pitchers and then allow them to get deep.
He has not allowed a hit since the first inning, just 1 walk. Through 29 pitches in the first inning. And 10, 11. And now 11 here in the 4th. Swing and a miss by Straw. Robleski with the throw to first. And it got away from Freddie Freeman.
Well, he gets a swing and miss. And rushing the ball. Clanks out of his glove. And then Freddie Freeman has to eject on this ball, because if he tries to catch this, this is an injured wrist. Now, actually, the ball hit Straw on the leg, so it didn't even matter. That was a strange play, Kenny. And they gave that a wild pitch, but that's a tough. It didn't even come close to hitting the ground.
Now the inning comes to an end as Heineman grounds out to Freeland. We head to the front. FS1, Kenny Albert, AJ Pierzynski. Dodgers with a 5-1 lead over the Blue Jays. Max Muncy leads off here in the top of the 5th inning against Josh Fleming, who has thrown 57 pitches over 2 innings. Look at what the Dodgers have done offensively over their last 4 games, sweeping the series in Washington, scoring 31 runs in the process. 5 runs over the first 4 innings here tonight, including a pair of 2-run homers.
And just great at bat after great at bat from this professional veteran hitting lineup of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Ball knocked down by Guerrero, and then Fleming looking to cover. Muncy is on at first.
Muncy hits this ball hard. Guerrero tries to backhand. It takes kind of a funky hop, and then Clement trying to hit the wide receiver coming over the middle. Those are a little bit behind him.
Diving attempt by Jimenez. Muncy is in at third, so just like that, the Dodgers have runners on the corners and nobody out.
And here we go again. Muncy gets on first. Andy Pages bangs a single up the middle. And now great base running by Max Muncy, and it is first and third and nobody out. And the runs and the pitches are just piling up on the Blue Jays right now.
They did credit Muncy with a base hit on the previous play.
I want to play nowadays. I would have never got out. No errors, and they don't give errors, pass balls, and nobody. Kenny, I love this.
Blue Jays did commit the 2 errors in the 3rd inning as Freeland squared to bunt. Dodgers sent 6 batters to the plate in the 4th. Did not record a base hit. They had the hit batsman and a couple of walks, a sacrifice fly. Back-to-back singles here in the 5th inning as Freeland takes ball 1. Freeland 0 for 2, fly to right, grounded to short.
If you're watching this, what are the Dodgers doing? Bunting? Second time they've tried to bunt now in this game. Thought they just hit homers, Kenny.
That's what they usually do. Major League leading 18 on the season, including 2 here tonight. Two and 1 the count on Freeland. Fleming, his first Major League appearance in July of 24, on a relief of Scherzer, who went only 2 innings. Through 36 pitches, gave up 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Freeland up the middle, and the Blue Jays turn 2. Muncy comes in to score, and the Dodgers now lead 6-1.
Well, just kind of what the doctor ordered for the Blue Jays, except for giving up a run, but a double play. Nice job by Ernie Clement to get this ball in the backhand, step on second, and get 2 outs.
With 2 away, here's Rushing. 0-1. Dodgers have scored in 4 of the 5 innings. Now lead the Blue Jays 6-1. Rushing singled in the 2nd, was hit by a pitch. Came around to score in the 4th. Blue Jays were 2 outs away from winning the World Series. Game 7 against the Dodgers. Dodgers won it 5-4 in 11 innings. Taking 3 out of 4 here at Rogers Center. Meaning tonight for the first time since. Base hit into center field off the bat of Rushing. That's his 2nd hit of the night.
Just a nice swing here by Rushing. Left on left, Ball down, he shoots it right up the middle. Just a nice swing right there.
The number 8 and 9 hitters in the Dodgers batting order have been a factor here tonight. A couple of hits for rushing. He has scored a run. Here's Kim, who walked back in the 4th inning. They have changed that wild pitch to a pass ball.
I don't know
in the last half inning.
And I wouldn't be surprised if the one earlier this inning has changed, because I love Max Muncy, but it changes earned runs, and that's always a thing for home teams. And if you remember, you used to be able to pick up the phone and call the official score from the dugout. And there was I saw many times guys had heated conversations with the official scorer from the dugout trying to get things changed.
Were you one of those guys?
I didn't call.
No?
I'd call Bob Bechtel on the White Sox and make him go argue for me.
Had somebody else do your dirty work.
That's right. And then I'd say, I didn't call, or Ozzie would call. Ozzie Guillen or Joey Cora would call. No, he's not calling. He's calling the bullpen.
One-two to Kim, got a piece of it. Stay alive. '75th pitch thrown by Fleming in 3 innings. Now 2-2. Full count. Ohtani looming on deck. 2 outs. Top of the 5th inning. Payoff pitch from Fleming. Kim pops it up. Coming out to make the play is the right fielder Straw. And that will end the Dodgers out to a 6-1 lead over the Blue Jays. Wroblewski threw 29 pitches, AJ, in that first inning. But over the last 3, has not a lot of base hit.
He's been good since I got out of that first inning. Ground ball from Miles Straw got him out. He's relaxed, settled in. Remember, Kenny, again, this is his first start of the year. There's some nerves. Once he got in, got comfortable, he's been really good.
Bounce to the right side, and Wroblewski will take it to the bag himself, beating Jimenez. Route number 1.
Nice play by Wroblewski. Little tapper from Jimenez. He busted over there. Little tapper. Jimenez is smelling hit right here. That ball gets by Wroblewski. It's a knock. He picks it up and beats Jimenez to first base. Nice play. Barehanded it too. No need for a glove.
We showed the viewers earlier the hit by pitch of Jimenez by Wroblewski in Game 7. Bench is emptied. Cooler heads prevailed. And Jimenez is 0 for 2 here today. Now Springer walked in the first, fly to center in the second.
Kenny, you're a big hockey guy. You know why George Springer wears the green and blue?
Hartford Whalers.
That's right.
Grew up in Connecticut. How about this one? He attended Avon Old Farms High School. 2 NHL playoff most valuable players attended Avon Old Farms.
I'm going to have to let you tell me those.
Tucker makes the play and right.
Who are they?
Brian Leach, Jonathan Quick.
Oh, okay.
New York Rangers, LA Kings. Both playoff MVPs attended the same high school as George Springer.
Is that where Ben Boma, your stat guy, went? Because he went to a prep school up there somewhere.
He did not. Although a pitcher who once threw a no-hitter in the major leagues also attended Avon Old Farms. Pitched for the Milwaukee Brewers.
I know this one. Now I know this one because there was only one no-hitter for the Brewers forever. Juan Nieves,
Yes.
former coach of mine for a long time.
There you go.
Juanchi, he never talks about that no-hitter ever either, trust me.
Did he ever talk about Avon Old Farms?
I didn't know. I thought he was from Puerto Rico.
Went to high school in Connecticut.
I didn't know that. Man, you learn something new every day with you, Kenny.
Good thing you brought up the Hartford Whalers.
Yeah. Wow. Next time I see Juanchi, I'm going to have to be like, you're from Connecticut?
George Springer was at a Maple Leafs game last week along with a number of his Blue Jays teammates.
We're not allowed to talk about that in Toronto, are we? Maple Leafs, their season?
Well, you could mention the fact that he was at the game. Steiner draws a 2-out walk. Vlad Guerrero Jr. Fly to right, walked his last time up. 6-1 lead for the Dodgers. Blue Jays scored their run in the bottom of the first inning. And now rushing out for a visit with Wroblewski. Who's thrown 6 straight balls.
And this is a little bit of, it looks like a little bit of fatigue. He gets that second out, maybe relaxes a little bit, walks Snyder. Now 2-0 on Vlad. This is where you go out there if you're Dalton Rushing and say, hey, let's get this one last out. It's Vlad Guerrero. Be careful here. Give us one more out. You're eligible for a win. We'll go score you a bunch more runs and get you that win.
Now 2-1 on Guerrero. Wroblewski has gone 4 2/3. Twice in his career he has gone 6 innings for the Dodgers. He was their 11th round pick back in 2021 out of Oklahoma State. His 9th big league start, first this season. Runner on first, 2 outs. And Guerrero bounces this one to the right side, barehanded. And then the throw to first to retire Guerrero. Freeland charging. Made the play with the bare hand to retire the last great Coliseum, where the best of the best look to slow down Tyler Reddick's red-hot season as the Cup Series hits the short track at Bristol. Sunday, 3 Eastern. Spring race coverage starting at 2 only on FS1. Second appearance of the season, AJ, for left-hander Joe Mantiply. After Josh Fleming went 3 innings in relief of Max Scherzer through 77 pitches in those 3 innings.
Oof. Dodgers have seen a lot of pitches tonight through 5 innings.
This is the 3rd Blue Jays pitcher of the evening, and all 3 have faced Ohtani as their first batter.
Good at bats, getting through the lineup multiple times. Not exactly the guy you want to see when you come in out of the bullpen or any time because of the damage Shohei can do.
The 2-1 from Mantiply. And Ohtani sends this one to deep center field. It is out of here. Home run number 3 on the season off the bat of Ohtani. It's the 3rd time the Dodgers have gone deep tonight. They now lead the Blue Jays 7-1.
Just a rocket. How do you hit the ball down and in, Kenny, over the left center field wall from a left-handed pitcher? That is just pure strength, pure impressiveness. I mean, that ball's down and in. They don't look very happy.
They did not leave happy on November 1st. And the Dodgers taking it to the Blue Jays here tonight. That's 19 home runs for Los Angeles over their first 10 games.
They just keep piling it on. Their actually home run per game has gone up. They were under 1.8 coming into this game. Now it's up to over 1.9, Kenny. So they're well ahead of the pace.
Tucker drove in a run his last time up with a sac fly. The 1-2 from Mantiply. And this rolls foul. Hernandez 2-run shot of the first. Freeman 2-run homer in the 3rd. Ohtani solo here in the 6th.
The Blue Jays came into this game. The Blue Jay fans came into this game saying, "Oh, we're home. Rough series against the White Sox, but we're playing the Dodgers. We're going to pack this place, be loud," and they haven't had a whole lot to cheer about.
No, they have not. Fell behind 2-0 early. It's now 7-1.
And these are the at-bats that makes Kyle Tucker so valuable. Yes, Ohtani hit a home run, but down 0-2 in the count. Foul ball, good take, good take. Now he's back into this count, back in this at bat.
And if you're the Blue Jays, oh, by the way, you're scheduled to face Yamamoto and Ohtani the next 2 games.
Yes.
Payoff pitch to Tucker. Missing away, ball 4. So Kyle Tucker heads down to first.
And what an at bat. Again, 0-2 walk. Just the takes, the quality of the bats. The Dodgers never give in on any at bat, never give away at bats. It's just constant pressure from this lineup, no matter where they're at. And it wears you down as a team. It really does.
Here's Freddie Freeman, went deep back in the 3rd inning. Has also struck out and walked.
You know what's interesting about Freddie? They don't boo Freddie. They boo Shohei because remember they thought Shohei was coming here. They booed Kyle Tucker because they thought he was coming here. They don't boo Freddie. Freddie's like an honorary Canadian because of his parents.
That's right. Down the left field line, foul. The 0-2 from Mantiply. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Mantiply keeps trying to throw a left-on-left changeup to these lefties of the Dodgers. And he hasn't, I don't think he's got one of them to swing at it yet. It's almost like he's trying to fool them, but these Dodger hitters are just so locked in. And here we go again, just like the Tucker bat. 0-2 take, foul ball. Just don't give away at bats.
Pitching coach Pete Walker back on the phone. There's the 1-2 to Freeman, another foul. Ohtani, leadoff home run. Walk to Tucker. And now Freeman lines out to Straw in right. What a way.
This is a really good catch by Miles Straw in right field. Off the bat, I thought this was in the gap, and I think Freddie thought this was in the gap also. But this jump from Miles Straw was spectacular. Direct route right to the ball. Whew, that is a really good play.
So with one out, here's Hernandez, who took Scherzer deep. 2-run home run back in the first inning. Top of the 6th in Toronto, 1 out. Dodgers now leading the Blue Jays 7-1. Dodgers have scored at least 1 run in 5 of the first 6 innings. Pitch number 20 from Mantiply here in the 6th. Ball 3 to Teoscar Hernandez. That's the second walk of the inning issued by Mantiply. Dodgers now have runners on first and second, only 1 out.
It's a helpless feeling if you're John Schneider. You can't do anything about walks.
Max Muncy 2 for 3 tonight. Takes a called strike from Mantiply, 0-1. We talked about the walk to Tucker back in the first inning. He came around to score on the Hernandez home run. One and one on Muncy. Still only 1 out.
Walks, hit by pitches, and then homers have been the damage really for the Dodgers. And also, just watch how they don't chase. This team does not chase. Now, down to the bottom with some of the younger guys, Freeland, Kim, rushing, they might a little bit. But these first 5 or 6 hitters, they do not go out of the strike zone. They swing at strikes, and they don't give you easy outs. And these Blue Jays fans are feeling it. The kid in the Dodger hat, he's happy. The guy in the Blue Jay shirt, not so much.
One-two to Muncy. He's down on strikes, now 2 away. That will be all for Take Home a Piece of the Game. Bid on game used jerseys, baseballs, bases, and more at auctions.mlb.com. Tommy Nance out of the Toronto Blue Jays pen to face Andy Pages. With 2 outs, top of the 6th inning. Runners on first and second for the Dodgers.
A lot of breaking balls from Nance. Curveball, slider. We saw slider first pitch. Just a lot of breaking balls.
Nance, the 4th pitcher of the game for the Jays. Scherzer went just 2 innings. Fleming through 77 pitches over the next 3. Mantiply here in the 6th. Faced 5 batters, retired 2 of them. And now Nance looking to close out the inning. Throw down to third. Both runners safe. Tucker in at third. Hernandez in at second.
Big jump here by Kyle Tucker, and a really good throw actually behind him, and it makes us much closer, I think, than we thought. Got a challenge. I think this is more of a hope than anything, because he looks like he's on the base the whole time.
Ball at third base. Previous play to review.
So the play is under review.
I think this is John Schneider just saying, man, let's throw something up and see if it sticks. Because I don't know how he would be out, because he's on the base with his left hand, and then his right hand stays on. It's pretty easy to tell with the colored batting gloves, the blue oven mitt and a red batting glove. I love that the umpires are watching it on the giant screen in center field, as are we. See right there, safe. He clearly beats it. His left oven mitt is on, tags on it, but his right batting glove is on the base. I don't know, Kenny, why is this taking so long?
Good question.
He's on it the whole time. Nothing ever comes off?
Confirmed. The runner is safe. Toronto loses its challenge.
So the ruling on the field stands. Dodgers have runners on second and third. 2 outs. Three-one from Nance to Pages, and he lifts it into right center, and this one is off the wall. 2-run score. Pages in at second. Dodgers now lead 9-1.
And Andy Pages is the hottest hitter on the planet right now, going to right center like he just did after the delay for a 2 RBI double. He is on fire, Kenny. Little slider. Leaves it up. And this is what Pages has done better. Swung at better pitches. His 4th slider he's seen in a row. Drives it to right center, and it is 9-1. Dodgers.
Looking to win a 2nd straight National League Player of the Week, perhaps. Pages now with the team leading 12 RBIs. Freeland at the plate. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Dodgers with 3 runs in the inning, leading the Blue Jays by 8. Dodgers 9 runs, 10 hits. Blue Jays 1 run, only 2 hits, and they've committed 2 errors. Three-0 from Nance, in for a called strike, now 3-1.
That shows you right there what he has confidence in, Kenny. 3-0 slider, 9-1. What does he think he can throw his first strike? A slider.
Full count.
3-1 slider.
Freeland strikes out to end the inning. But the Dodgers add 3, an Ohtani home run, and then Paez drives in. Will Klein out of the Dodgers bullpen. Los Angeles leading 9-1 after the starter Justin Robleski went 5 innings through 78 pitches. Klein earned the win in Game 3 of the World Series. He faced 15 Blue Jay batters, retired 12 of them. Did not allow a run, pitched innings 15, 16, 17, 18.
Did a great job for him. This is the one guy Dave Roberts said he wanted to get in, was Will Klein.
Facing Okamoto, leading off for Toronto here in the 6th.
And they took, this is how you know you're going good. Andy Paez got taken out of the game for Alex.
Base hit into right center. Leadoff man on for the Blue Jays here in the 6th. Mentioned the exit of Paez. Alex Call now in center field for the Dodgers. Here's Clement, drove in the only Blue Jays run back in the 1st. Freeland charging. And the out recorded at first base. Okamoto moving over to second.
That's how you know you're going good, Kenny. Alex Call comes in for Andy Paez. Usually you're trying to get some of your more veteran guys off their feet. Freddie Freeman, Max Muncy, but Dave Roberts like, Andy Paez, you already got 2 hits. We'll get you off your feet for a little bit. Start moving up the pecking order.
With 1 away, here's Varsho. 0 for 1 with a walk.
So Kenny, you see that foul ball right there? My son plays baseball at UAB, and I was at his games this weekend at Florida Atlantic University and down the left field line at UAB home games, and on the road they have this group of dads called the Blazer Den, and one of the dads got a foul ball hit right to him. Okay, called me off.
Wow.
Called me off. Hits him right in the chest. Clank. I'm not gonna mention his name, Steve Hunt, but right. I mean, boop, right in the chest. And then he looked at me like it was my fault as he called me off. Something you shouldn't do, right? Call a ex-professional baseball player off a pop-up.
I think Steve learned his lesson.
I think he did.
Alex Call makes the catch in center. Okamoto in at 3rd.
Plus, got to give the Blazers a shout out. I think they've won 9 games in a row. They're atop the American Conference, Kenny. So I had to throw in a little shout out.
When will you be heading back to the Blazer Den?
Tomorrow night, Mississippi State. They play in Starkville against 9th-ranked Bulldogs. I'm going to fly to Stark, Vegas tomorrow.
Quick trip north of the border in between.
That's right. Just a small Boca Raton to Toronto to Starkville. 3 places most people don't go in an order.
That might be a first. Here's Miles Straw, takes a called strike. Direct flight to Stark Vegas?
No. There's no. Actually, Jack, our BA, emailed me about a car service, and he said, "Oh, you're going to Columbus. Do you need a car to pick you up at the airport?" I said, "No, I have a rental car." He goes, "What are you doing in Missouri?" I was like, "No, it's Columbus, Mississippi." So a little confusing for some people. There's a lot of MIs, MSs, and abbreviations.
So his dad, and I won't name names.
That's why I didn't use last name.
His dad once was driving a bunch of us to a production meeting with Mike Ditka in New Orleans and wound up going over a 24-mile bridge. Missed the Saints facility, but no names will be mentioned here. Mike Ditka was waiting for us.
I'm assuming it was like Lake Pontchartrain, right?
Exactly.
Wow.
That's exactly where it was. And Ditka's line was, John Madden's never late. But we won't mention any names. But it was, in fact, the Lake Pontchartrain Bridge. I guess you're pretty familiar with it.
Oh, I've been to New Orleans before, as we have a challenge here. Oh.
It is a ball.
Half an inch. Isn't it amazing, though? Half an inch. And you know what's also amazing? How right most of these umpires are most of the time. As much grief as they get, they are right a lot.
Did you say that as a player? I guess it depended if you were at the plate or behind the plate.
Yes.
Terrific play by Freeland to retire Straw, and that will end the inning. We move to the 7th here in Toronto. Dave Roberts and the Dodgers looking for their 4th straight win after sweeping the Nationals. Here are the numbers tonight. 9 runs, 10 hits. They've walked 5 times.
The last number. Did you see the last number, Kenny?
Total number of pitches. As Rushing, who went deep yesterday, does it in back-to-back games. The 4th home run for the Dodgers tonight. They now lead the Blue Jays 10-1.
Wow. Dalton Rushing would be starting catcher for a lot of teams, but 87-mile-an-hour slider, down and in, and that ball was smashed.
Now Kim bounces one and is safe at first on the slow roller to the right side of the infield.
That's a knock. I don't know what happened. Darnay Clement right here. Maybe didn't get a grip on it, but Kim can fly. Backhand charges it, gets a good hop. Oh yeah, the old slipped out of my finger trick. But it's just the pressure Kim puts on you knowing he can fly. Got to rush. And now here comes Ohtani. He's done okay today.
Went deep his last time up. 2 hits. He scored a couple of runs. Bottom of the order continues to produce for the Dodgers tonight. Rushing with 3 hits. 2nd home run of this season. He has scored 2 runs. Kim has reached base twice.
By the way, the last 7 home runs between the Dodgers and the Blue Jays, all homers by the Dodgers.
Wow.
3 in Game 7 and 4 tonight. All Dodgers. No Blue Jay home runs.
Ohtani down on strikes. 1 away here in the top of the 7th. in the World Series, AJ, the Blue Jays actually outscored the Dodgers by 8 runs. The Dodgers hit 10 solo home runs in the 7 games.
But you know what matters? 4-3.
W column.
4 wins to 3 wins, and some great games, just spectacular games. The whole postseason, Kenny, last year was unreal. The extra inning games, the Game 5 we had, that I had with the Mariners, Tigers, and then you see that.
7 home runs in the last 11 innings here in Toronto. A bloop down the right field line off the bat of Tucker. So the Dodgers have first and second. Still only 1 out. Tucker has now reached base 3 times today, also has a sacrifice fly. He has scored 2 runs. There's Freddie Freeman, went deep back in the 3rd. 2-run shot.
Kenny, have you done a lot of Blue Jay games? I mean, you broadcast everything, so have you done a lot of Blue Jay games?
To be honest, the last one here was the Bautista home run and bat flip in the 2015 postseason.
Nice.
Freeman, deep right field. Back on the warning track was Straw. It's off the wall. Coming in to score is Kim. Tucker to 3rd. Another run batted in for Freeman. It's now 11-1 Los Angeles.
And another hit for Freddie Freeman. This guy's unbelievable. Little breaking ball. Freddie wasn't sure. Remember last time he smoked the ball that Miles Straw caught and right, but as soon as this ball hits the wall, Freddie's got another easy double. Just keeps on his path to Cooperstown.
You referenced earlier, both of his parents are from the province of Ontario. Freddie, however, born in California. Teoscar Hernandez got things rolling for the Dodgers.
Before the game, Dan Schulman, Hazel May, the TSN Canadian broadcasters for the Blue Jays were talking to Freddie, and I said, hey, leave him alone. He's not Canadian. You guys don't talk to. He's from California. And they said he's honorary Canadian.
Yes. Base hit into right center. 2 more runs score. 2 more runs batted in for Teoscar Hernandez. It is now 13-1. Dodgers over the Blue Jays.
Fastball this time. Teoscar does what good hitters do and take this ball to right center for 2 more RBIs, and the merry-go-round is going, and John Schneider and Pete Walker, the Blue Jays, are looking for somebody they can find some outs along with that guy and that guy. She's making dinner plans, Kenny.
A very quiet Rogers Center here tonight.
Well, no, the reason I was asking if you do a lot of Blue Jays games earlier was I think in the 7th inning stretch, don't they do the "Let's Go Blue Jays"? Instead of I don't. Do they do "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" here also, and then do the "Let's Go Blue Jays"? I fully expect you and Ben to stand up and do the dance with it.
Well, apparently, great article by Tom Verducci in the Sports Illustrated baseball preview, our colleague, and he talked about some of the Dodgers on the flight home following Game 7 doing some karaoke, and that was one of the songs.
That song, huh?
They certainly heard it enough during the World Series.
To the victors go the spoils.
Muncy fouls it off down the left field line.
If you remember the year before when the Dodgers beat the Yankees, they made some comments afterwards, which was, listen, well deserved. If you win, you can say and do whatever you want because you have the trophy. And by the way, have you seen their rings? The Dodgers, their rings have a ring inside of the ring. I wonder if Eric Karros back in the studio got one.
A little bigger than your 2005 ring?
Slightly. They have a ring inside the ring.
Looking to become the first National League team in history to win 3 straight World Series. Muncy down on strikes. Now 2 away here in the 7th. Alex Call batting for the first time. Came on for Pages during the last half inning. Dodgers with 4 runs here in the 7th. They've scored in every inning but the 2nd. Lead the Blue Jays 13-1. Foul ball back behind third. All Dodgers tonight. First of a 3-game set north of the border. And they will send Yamamoto and Ohtani to the mound over the next 2 games.
Daunting task for the Blue Jays. But they have Gausman going one, right? Who is it? Gausman and
Gausman tomorrow, Dylan Cease on Wednesday.
So those are 2 pretty good pitching matchups there.
How about the artwork from Cease in the manager's office?
Dylan Cease is a renaissance man. I wish he'd cut his hair and his mustache because I was joking with him during spring training, but he's into things not baseball.
Beautiful painting of the ballpark, the Canadian flag.
The only thing that I think John Schneider said was there's a lot of Dylan Cease autographs in the middle of his painting.
Makes it even more valuable. The 1-2 to Call. Shoots it into shallow right center. And the inning finally comes to an end. Catch made by Clement. 7th inning stretch time. All Dodgers tonight here on FS1. They lead the Blue Jays 13-1. Espinal in at first base for Los Angeles. 13 runs on 15 hits. Blue Jays 1 run, only 3 base hits. The pitch from Klein to Heineman. Heineman has grounded out twice tonight. The 0-2, and Heineman fouls it off. Back behind third. Heineman will beat the throw at first. Leadoff man out for the Blue Jays here in the 7th.
Well, perfect placement. Max Muncy's thinking, I did everything I could to get him out. And Heineman was sniffing that knock, Kenny, so he ran. Got it.
4th hit for the Blue Jays. Jimenez 0 for 2. First pitch, shallow left center. Oh, what a play.
Oh, wow.
What a catch made by the shortstop, Kim, to retire Jimenez.
I'm not going to say that Mookie Betts couldn't make this play, but I don't know Mookie's fast as Kim. And Kim goes a long way full speed to get this ball. It just kind of sticks his glove out. That's a heck of a play right there. That's why hitting in the big leagues is so hard, Kenny, because these guys, they're so good, they catch everything.
Kim says, look what I found.
By the way, did you see the Cody Bellinger catch the other day?
I did.
When he didn't even that Cody Bellinger, after he made his own catch, looked like Klein did after that Kim catch. I've never seen a guy make a catch like the Cody Bellinger one the other day.
Jesus Sanchez batting for Springer. Runner on first, 1 out, with the Blue Jays trailing by 12. Bottom of the 7th inning in Toronto. Two and two. Will Klein on in relief of Justin Robleski, who went 5 innings for the Dodgers. Allowed 1 run on only 2 hits. Sanchez down on strikes. And this will be challenged. It is confirmed, strike 3.
That was kind of anticlimactic. The crowd got real quiet though, and they were still paying attention.
Two away, Davis Schneider takes a called strike from Klein, 0-1. Schneider 0 for 2, walked his last time up. Blue Jays scored their run way back in the 1st inning.
That was so long ago, I forgot they scored.
Dodgers have scored the last 11. Deal 2 from Klein. Schneider got a piece of it.
You talk about overreactions early in the season. You know, Toronto's going to be 4-6. There's plenty of stretches in a major league season where you go 4-6. When you start 4-6, everyone freaks out.
Schneider strikes out to end the inning. fifth pitcher of the evening for the Blue Jays, who trailed by 12. Spencer Miles, fourth appearance of the season, missed last season following Tommy John surgery.
Well, Miles, sinker slider guy, just trying to work his way back, as you mentioned. Tommy John surgery, just trying to work his way back into some innings here with the Blue Jays.
Facing Freeland, leading off for the Dodgers here in the eighth. Dodgers with 4 home runs, 1 against each of the 4 Blue Jays pitchers over the first 7 innings. Freeland sends this one to deep center. Catch is made by Varsho for out number 1. I chatted with both managers earlier today, and he asked Dave Roberts, you've won back-to-back World Series. You know, what are some of the perks? What have you gotten to do over these last several years? A couple of trips to Augusta.
Who hasn't done that, Kenny?
You'll be heading there this week, but to watch, not play.
I've played there. You never asked.
Actually, you mentioned it earlier. But Dave Roberts did get to play there a couple of times.
He did. And what did he say? He shot 89, 86, something like that? Not bad.
What'd you shoot there?
I believe 85 or 86.
There you go.
Great place. Great place. Listen, Dave Roberts, probably going to the Hall of Fame, 3 World Series as a manager. Being the manager of the Los Angeles Dodgers when you're winning. Oh, boy.
Rushing again. His second home run tonight, 3rd of the last 2 games. The Dodgers have now hit 5 tonight, 1 against each of the 5 Blue Jays pitchers.
He's got 3 homers in 2 games. He's reached base all 5 times tonight. 4 hits and a hit by pitch, or no, and a hit by pitch. So he's having himself a night. Oof. Have a night, Dalton rushing.
You know, Dave Roberts telling us earlier, giving Dalton Rushing another start following his big home run in Washington, saving Will Smith for the next 2 games to catch Yamamoto and Ohtani. And Rushing has certainly come through.
Well, here's the thing. On most teams, Dalton Rushing would be a starting catcher. And that was one of the big things when he got called up last year. How's he going to get his at-bats? Because he can hit and he can play. Because that guy, Will Smith, is one of the best catchers in baseball and plays all the time. He's a valuable, valuable piece for these Dodgers. And, oh, yeah, he gets to catch Yamamoto and Ohtani the next 2 nights, Will Smith.
And then Kim followed up with his second base hit of the evening. Ohtani at the plate. So now that the viewers know about your itinerary, you know, we only covered Stark Vegas. Then it's on to Augusta. Does Jack have a car set up there?
No. Jack is failing. I feel like Jack has failed me on that one. No, I have a rental car from Missouri, Columbus, Mississippi to Augusta. And then I got to fly to Baltimore to do Fox Game of the Week. Baseball Night in America. Giants, Orioles.
Busy week.
The Halloween Bowl.
Ohtani heads back to the dugout. Strikes out for the second consecutive at bat. Two-way, here's Tucker. So what does Miles remember from this half inning? The rushing home run or the fact that he struck out Ohtani?
You always remember the negative stuff. For some reason, it's weird like that. He did punch Ohtani's ticket on 3 pitches, though, but yeah, he'll remember the home run.
Jays Penn has allowed 12 earned runs, 14 hits in 5 2/3 after the start of Scherzer lasted only 2 innings. (14-1) Dodgers. They've hit 5 home runs. One-two to Tucker. Bounce to the right side. Miles covering. We head to the bottom of the 8th. 14-1 lead for the Dodgers. Score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, we've got the season covered. Scan the QR code to visit MLBshop.com, the official source for your favorite team gear. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. leading off for the Blue Jays against Edgardo Enriquez. 4th appearance of the season out of the Dodgers pen. Enriquez, AJ, has thrown the fastest pitch in Major League Baseball this season. 103.2. 0-2 on Guerrero.
Well, the average is over 100, so he rears back, tries to get a little extra, Kenny. That'll do it.
Dodgers have scored in every inning but the second. The first batter of the game for the Blue Jays was Springer. He walked, came around to score. The only run to this point for Toronto, driven home by Clement. Five home runs for the Dodgers. Guerrero down on strikes, a called strike 3.
It's a pretty tough pitch to hit at 102, by the way, right? I mean, right on the corner. Vlad doesn't like it, but I think even if they had a challenge left, he would have lost.
Okamoto with a couple of hits today, also grounded into a double play. One and one on Okamoto. With one out, bottom of the 8th inning. We asked manager John Schneider of the Blue Jays about the letter he received from Steve Kerr, the head coach of the Golden State Warriors. Story came out a couple of weeks ago. Kerr sent the letter to Schneider here in Toronto. It was sitting on his desk for a couple of months, and then he finally opened it when he returned to his office, and he was shocked. He had never met Steve Kerr before.
I didn't know that story. It was interesting. It was good. Thanks to Steve Kerr. But who writes a letter? Everyone sends text messages or emails.
Old
now.
school.
I guess so.
And after receiving the letter, Clement takes a called strike. Schneider then received Kerr's cell phone number, and they've been texting since then. But Kerr brought up the fact that he lost in a devastating championship series to Cleveland. about a decade ago. He said, I know the feeling, but you did a terrific job. I really enjoyed watching your leadership during that World Series.
That's nice. Nice gesture.
Muncy across the first. Retired Clement. And we head. Well, Tyler Heineman taking part in both sides of the battery for the Blue Jays tonight. Behind the plate for the first 8 innings. Now on the mound, Brandon Valenzuela takes over behind the plate for Toronto.
45.1. He's trying to hump it up. Just saw Enriquez throw 102. Oh, he went 61 that time, Kenny.
It's his 7th appearance pitching in the major leagues. Espinal flies out to Varsho in center. 1 away.
Never got to do it. I never played another position in the major leagues. Caught only.
What was it like catching position players?
Oh, there was only one good story that I remember. Most of the time it was awful because it usually meant you were getting crushed. But we were Murphy, David Murphy for the Rangers when I was on the Rangers was pitching in against the Mariners, and Mike Carp was hitting, and he threw a knuckleball and he got rung up on it. He got ejected. Mike Carp, who was then my teammate later on. And I said, dude, you got ejected for against a position player. He's like, it wasn't a strike. I'm like, come on, Carp.
No ABS challenges back then.
You can't challenge with a position player
That's
pitching
right.
anyway. So, ooh, he humped up. 69.
2-2. And Teoscar Hernandez.
This is a no-win situation for a hitter. You're expected to get a hit, and then when you don't, see, then 77. He's going for the punchy, and the crowd's going wild.
This is the most excitement we've heard from the Blue Jays fans
For
tonight.
sure. It's quite a differential in speeds, 45 to 77.
Ground ball, Jimenez. Hernandez retired. So Heineman has retired the first 2 Dodgers he has faced.
You know what my favorite is on the big scoreboard they have here? It shows all the metrics of all the pitches and the hits and everything. It tells you what kind of pitch it is. When Heineman pitches, it says eephus pitch. In a clean inning, get over.
Heineman covering. A 1-2-3, 10-pitch inning for the Blue Jays starting catcher tonight, Tyler Heineman.
No contracts, no credit checks, no surprises. And now plans starting at just $25 a month.
Our second position player taking the mound here in the 9th inning, Miguel Rojas for the Dodgers, and Varsho doubles to right center. Well, the last time Rojas entered a game there at Rogers Center, AJ, he was a big reason why the Dodgers took Game 7 of the World Series.
He hit kind of a big home run, Kenny, in that moment.
And then was terrific in the field as well.
That's right. He made the play that saved it with the bases loaded. Play at home plate. And now he's out there pitching. Baseball's a funny, funny game.
His 9th career appearance on the mound. You saw Heineman retire the side in order in the top half.
See, this is something that never used to happen. But they're up 14-1. And there's a position player pitching for the team winning. The Biggie Rowe homer. What a moment. And then here's the play. When he took that last little bobble back. He thought the game was over, but he still made a good throw.
Now this will definitely make Jason Stark's next column. How many times in baseball history has a position player pitched and then came to the plate in the same game against another position player on the mound?
And then get hit by a pitch.
That too.
But see, now the Dodgers, yes, I get it why they're doing this, but they're going to have to get somebody up here possibly. I mean, I'm not saying that the Blue Jays are going to score 13 runs, but it's bases loaded, no outs. The lineup's about to be turned over. One more guy gets on base, they might have to actually get somebody up.
In a 14-1 game, strike 1-2, Jimenez. Blue Jays have loaded the bases. They're in the bottom of the ninth. A run comes home to score as Jimenez grounds out to the shortstop. Kim, one away.
This is a really nice play by Max Muncy. I know it's 14-2, but the base is loaded. He goes to his left here, and there's nobody covering second. He wanted to go to second. Nobody was covering, so he had to switch his feet, throw it to first, and get Jimenez out at first. That was actually a really nice play.
Yep, Muncy makes the play. So now Toronto with second and third, one out. And Valenzuela at the plate. Popped up, back behind the plate. Now two away. So now the Blue Jays down to their final out. David Schneider takes ball one. In for a called strike from Rojas. Now 2-1. $14 runs, 17 hits for the Dodgers. 2 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for the Blue Jays. Dalton rushing with 2 of the 5 Los Angeles home runs. Oscar Hernandez, 2-run shot in the first. Freddie Freeman, 2-run homer in the third. Ohtani in the 6th, and then rushing in the 7th and the 8th. Payoff pitch from Rojas. And that will do it. The Dodgers win their 4th straight. Blue Jays lose their 5th in a row.
Just domination by the Los Angeles Dodgers. Robleski started off, and that guy Dalton Rushing have a night. 4 hits, including 2 home runs. A bunch of homers from the Dodgers. They just keep rolling, doing what they do, Kenny. Good pitching, great hitting, and a lot of homers.
A sweep of the Nationals, averaging over 10 runs per game. They put up 14 in their return to Toronto, where they won Game 7 of the World Series 157 days ago. For A.J. Pierzynski, I'm Kenny Albert. To Los Angeles, Kevin Burkhardt, take it away.
Kenny, A.J., appreciate that. Dodgers have scored 40.